Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Ox Talks. Appreciate you watching today's show. Do me a favor and like the video, share the video with as many people as you possibly can, and subscribe to the channel, please. If you haven't subscribed, it means a lot to me, and we'll continue to grow the community. So today's obviously Fed Day. We got the news from Jerome Powell that the Fed was implementing a 50 basis point interest rate cut. And it's very interesting how the markets reacted. The stock market, the Dow Jones, S&P, the NASDAQ, how the gold and silver market reacted, the crypto market, the 10-year bond, how that market reacted, and also the dollar. It was very interesting to me as a layperson kind of seeing it unfold. Obviously, during Powell's speech, the volatility across the board was insane. It was up and down. Initially, the markets came out with like a 375-point knee-jerk higher on the Dow, but in the ensuing hour and a half, with comments and everything made by Powell, the market finished down about 100 and some points. The S&P also finished in the red, and so did the NASDAQ. So huge reversal in the markets. Leave your comments below of what you guys think that was attributed to. We'll jump into a quick story that Hedge put out, addressing it and why, or what their thoughts about why it reversed lower based upon comments that were released throughout Powell's remarks. But the metals then initially getting out of the gates went high. Gold was well over $2,600 an ounce. Silver was over $31 an ounce. And they also reversed lower. As of recording this video, the gold and silver market are just about to close in a few minutes. I'm seeing gold down about $12, silver's down about 60 cents. So I don't know where it'll close, but again, pretty big reversal also with the metals. What's interesting to me, though, is the dollar knee-jerked higher, and the 10-year yield was also higher by about 7 basis points. Again, leave your comments below. What is your guys' take on that, and how do you read it? Because typically, when you have the Fed coming out and saying we are going to start today lowering interest rates for the first time in, I think it's at least a couple of years, and you would think that would cause the yields to come down, and you would also think that would cause the dollar index to come down. And I didn't see that happening, playing out. Now, sometimes, as we know, it takes a day or two for the markets to kind of assimilate the information and then kind of settle down and come to a new equilibrium point, if you will. So what do you guys think is going to be the play on this come tomorrow and the next day? It sure seems to me that Powell, yes, the markets have been calling for 50 basis points. You had guys like Jeff Gundlach out yesterday saying they got to go 50 because the Fed's behind the curve and the economy is already weak. I would agree that the economy is not strong like the cheerleaders in mainstream are making it out to be in this election year to try to keep propping it up. And I think that Powell coming out and giving a 50 basis point nod, from my perspective as a layperson, sends a signal of weakness. Now, Powell's comment, which I'll share with you in this article in a second, is that it was basically a preemptive move, right? Because you would say, well, why do you have to cut 50 basis points if everything is so good? And so that goes against their narrative that the economy is all fine and that the current administration is doing a wonderful job. So how do you walk that tightrope, if you will? I'll share the article with you in a second, the way Powell chose to do that. But aside from that, you had almost like buy the rumor and then sell the news. The markets wanted as much of a rate cut as they could possibly get. And it was pretty evenly split between 25 basis points and 50 basis points, I believe, going into the Fed meeting today. And the market got what it asked for. And that was the thumbnail for the video today. It got what it asked for. So why did the market sell off? Was it the further comments that Powell made relative to the fact that the new neutral rate when they get there is going to be higher than the neutral rate of many years ago when we had negative rates and in 0% bound rates? So I don't know. Maybe that's kind of what sparked the sell-off. But my friends who are stock market guys were out, popping the champagne right away when the information and the remarks originally came out from Powell this morning about the cut. And of course, all that reversed. So I know you've got guys like Greg Manarino out saying that this is the time to be buying in. These guys have been sitting on the sideline, or some of his people, and that now is the time that this thing is going to take off and like a rocket ship, and it might. I mean, it might take off. I would think that the markets would be reacting positively, but it's possible that tomorrow is a continued sell-off. Maybe there is a wake-up call, or this is a wake-up call to the mainstream, that the Fed really didn't need to go 50 basis points, and by doing that and kind of giving the markets what the markets wanted, it actually signals weakness. And does it signal a Fed that really isn't independent? And you guys can all have your own perspectives on that. But we know that the Fed acts. Well, I say we. I think that there's a lot of indications, evidence, whatever you want to call it, that the Fed acts at the whim of what the banks want and what the stock market wants and what some politicians want. So this is we're 2 months away, less than 2 months away from the presidential election. We already know they had to come out and revise the jobs number down, 818,000. So let's see if they can keep the wheels on the buggy for another 6-7 weeks to try to get whatever they think they're going to get over the finish line with the candidate. Again, that's not the purpose of today's video, but we're living in very, very interesting and also very, very scary times. Let me share the article from the Zero Hedge today. It says, Fed Powell unleashes chaos across markets with, quote, not a crisis at all, end quote, 50 basis point rate cut, right? Sarcasm. The U.S. economy, he says, Powell, is in a good place, and our decision today is designed to keep it there, said Fed Chair Jay Powell during the press conference. Again, almost like it's, hey, we're strong. This is just preemptive. We want to keep it strong. Again, guys, the spin, the language that is used to try to bolster and to maintain confidence in these markets and confidence in the voters and in this economy is unbelievable. It's literally off the charts. So a crisis level, this article says, a crisis level, 50 basis point cut at record high for stocks and home prices just 2 months ahead of the election is warranted because the, quote, economy is in a good place, end quote. Of course, then they said that candidate Harris was out saying the Fed's rate decision is welcome news for Americans. The knee-jerk reaction across all markets, it says, reversed considerably during Powell's press conference as he poured a little cold water on expectations. And here are the comments. The committee is not in a rush, said Powell. And with that, stocks started to puke lower as he added, we will move as fast or as slow as we think is appropriate. And we all know that's probably not the case. They are influenced by a whole number of outside forces that really dictates kind of the pace they go, right? We all know that. Powell stole, it says, the jam out of the equity market's donut when he tilted hawkish by noting no one should look at the 50 basis point cut and say this is a new pace. It says, but realistically, the dots said it all with members desperately lurching lower in rate cut expectations. It says, additionally, Powell, they took the limelight out by stating that we're probably not going back to the era when trillions of dollars worth of sovereign bonds were trading negatively, and says the neutral rate is probably much higher than it used to be, but he doesn't know, he says, where that level is. Okay, so it says, let's survey the damage. Stocks knee-jerked higher with small caps exploding almost 2.5% at their highs on the FOMC statement The S&P also briefly hit a new record high. However, once Powell started speaking, all of the majors reversed lower. So again, I won't go too long today. You guys can go and check out. This news will be all over mainstream and all the news channels and outlets and zero hedges, things like that. Go take a look, because we talk about, again, this is the stock market. It's not Main Street. It's not mom and pop. It's not everyone that is trying to put food on the table every day and just pay their bills, pay for their payments, their insurance costs, their mortgages, their rents. We know that. There's a disconnect. But today was Fed Day. It's important that, from my perspective, I want to give you my 2 cents, share the article with you, because we did have a sell-off in the market after a substantial, uptick. So is this going to be a buying opportunity for all you stock market gurus? Is it going to be a buying opportunity for the metals people? Is it going to be a buying opportunity for crypto people? Is it going to be a buying opportunity in the bond market? What do you guys think? Leave your comments below. Again, like I said, always settles out a day or two later when we really get the true read on let's say, the impact. Okay. Hope all of you have a great afternoon. Again, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I appreciate the support very much. Talk to you soon. Bye.